Hello and welcome to the SixStarPodcast. This time live from Miami, the location that GTA 6 is going to be set on. And the previous GTA Vice City game was set on 20 years ago.
I don't know if you can see it in the background. I can't really see what the camera sees, but that's the port. You can see the port in Trailer 1. We are NPCs in GTA 6 right now.
Confirmed. Sky in the port mission in GTA 6.
Yeah.
They'll just replicate the mission in GTA 6 because everyone complains.
Yes.
That's the way.
Yes.
So it's been a month since we've talked about anything GTA related in our last podcast
Because there's
episode.
been pretty much nothing.
Surprisingly. We aren't...
Is it surprising, though?
We're not that close yet to the release of GTA 6. At least the release they reckon it's going to happen on.
Yeah, I feel like there was always going to be a dead period. But it'll pick back up soon, right, in the next couple months. But yeah, the past month and a half has been next level dry.
Yeah, it's always an interesting question to wonder if they originally intended to do effectively nothing except the leaks have just continuously forced them to say stuff publicly. As Jason said, just fixing some leaks.
Yeah. Yes. Do we want to start with why we're in Miami?
Oh yeah, true. We could talk about ourselves because we're more important than Rockstar. So.
Well, I mean, there's not much news, so let's be honest.
Yeah.
This could be more interesting.
Yeah, well, it is interesting. We had a lot of fun in Miami.
Yeah, so just like we did with Trailer 1, we're going around to a bunch of the trailer spots. We're going to be able to come to way more when the game actually comes out, but from what we saw of Vice City and the surrounding areas, we've been to a bunch of the locations already. We've filmed a bunch of shots, trying to line up the trailer shots exactly right, so hopefully both of us have a video coming out in the next few weeks.
Yeah.
Or you maybe the next year or two.
Yeah, I'll do a more vlog style thing when we go through all the footage. I mean, I've still got all the footage from our Japan trip that I haven't done anything with. It'll come out one day.
You still have the footage from our trip here last year.
And LA, and that's the LA one's being worked on from a year ago. But
that was 13 months ago.
Yes, crazy. I know.
Almost 14.
It's just such a low priority video. Because we did both make a video on our time in LA and Miami last time, but we just kind of summarized it. You guys likely saw some of that. But this time, I've actually had Aitana here with me. And so she has played the part of Lucia, and I've played the part of Jason in a lot of these shots. Unfortunately, I didn't shave off my beard, so I didn't make a perfect Jason replica, but I did get a lot of the clothing and stuff while I was here to look like he is in a lot of the shots.
It doesn't need to be perfect.
No.
As long as it looks similar. And a lot of the spots we went, I think the shots look pretty much one-to-one.
Yeah, I think that's the gimmick of it, the idea of the shots.
Yeah.
Like, it don't have to be perfect, it's just cool that you're doing it all.
Yeah.
And Miami is such an interesting place. And
it's interesting.
Yeah. I think I've enjoyed my time more this time round, in part because Bella, your girlfriend, and my girlfriend have been here. And Aitana's driven us around as well, which has made us so we can get...
Yes, that has helped a lot. Very thankful for Aitana.
Yeah, my girlfriend, she lived in Miami and actually learned to drive in Miami. And so she was the only person who could drive us around because, we learned to drive in Australia where we drive on the other side of the road. And the entire time we're driving around, I think Aitana's driving into traffic whenever she turns, but obviously she's not just turning us, she's meant to. I'm like freaking out, like, oh my god, we're gonna die! No, fine. Okay. Yeah, heaps of fun. We still got a few more to do tomorrow.
We'll do a few tomorrow, some Raul Batista shots, but we're pretty much all done, and I think it's been great. Yeah. I'm excited to make the video.
Yeah. Your last one did well, so.
Alright, should we get into the GTA 6 stuff?
Absolutely.
Just in terms of the release date for GTA 6, have you seen this tweet from Obe Vermey?
No.
Okay, so Obe Vermey, we've spoken about him on the podcast before. He used to work at Rockstar years ago for games like GTA 4. I think GTA 4 was the last game he worked on, maybe GTA 5, but he's been gone for a while now. Basically, someone asked him, because the topic has come up again, do we think GTA 6 is going to get delayed yet again?
Yeah.
That's going to happen when there's no news. So someone asked, hello, do you think GTA 6 will be delayed again until fall 2026 or not? I think Rockstar is very confident about May 26, even if we're not sure it will ultimately be pushed back to fall 26. Obe May replied, Rockstar had a free choice and picked May 26. They're confident. They'll make the final call about 5 months out. Any GTA 6 delayed rumor before December is just clout chasing.
I mean, you've also said we're kind of waiting for December when they'll release actual marketing material, or...
Just based off what Rockstar has done historically, there's a few things we know, right? So one is when they pick an actual date, like a specific date, so May 26th, they don't delay the game after that. Historically, they haven't done that before. If that date is locked in, judging again historically when they drop trailers, December, maybe late November, early December, lines up pretty much perfectly with when we would get a trailer 3.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, shit can always happen, of course. I mean, I'm sure they didn't intend to delay it the first time.
No, but they didn't even give, like, a season. They just said 2025.
Yeah.
So it was very vague. There was always a possibility, but I'd say I'm like 90% confident that it won't get delayed again, and it seems like people back us up with that.
And Struass himself recently was again reaffirming that. Is that another topic in there, or?
On the earnings call,
yeah.
Struass Zelnick, he made a statement about GTA 6's price. Again, he does what he always does, right? He says, yes, it's still on track, blah, blah, blah. With that said, he did that last time as well, and it got delayed.
Exactly.
Do we believe anything Struass Zelnick says at this point? Who knows, but...
He's the only person from the company, at least the region of Rockstar, yapping publicly, so it's all we have to really talk about.
I love Struass because he's given us stuff to talk about. Yeah. It's complete bullshit, but it's something to talk about.
Yeah, I'm sure he likes the attention too, and he likes just going on with anyone who listens to him. He's like, man, let me tell you about GTA 6.
You want to read that one?
Oh, sure. So, this is Videotech UK, Ben. Take-Two CEO Struass Zelnick on Grand Theft Auto 6 pricing. Our goal always is to deliver more value than what we charge, so we've had variable pricing at the company forever. As you know, the approach of the industry is to launch at a premium price, sometimes with special editions, and over time, typically to reduce the price to enhance the overall size of the market. We do the very same thing. I think, probably more than most, we're highly focused on making sure that the experience is great, not just because the game itself is great, but also because consumers have paid a fair price for it. I mean, what else is he going to say? I mean, he's not confirming what the price is, or...
Again, this is kind of just what it's been like over the past few months. A lot of words with not much substance to it. Like
It's politician speak. It could mean anything. What is a fair price?
I think it's a little bit of good news, judging by the first sentence there. Our goal is always to deliver more value than what we charge. I think, obviously, it doesn't completely shut it down, but it almost completely shuts down the $100 price tag rumor. If that needed to be shut down, like that was probably never going to happen anyway.
There was actually a viewer question that somewhat relates to this. Do you think that they're going to separate GTA 6 and GTA 6 Online 2, whatever the hell that is called, and in terms of games? So you can buy the single player and you can buy the online separately, or are they going to be a package deal like they were last time?
I think they'll do what they did with GTA 5 and Red Dead 2, where if you buy GTA 6, you'll get online. But there might also be a chance that they sell online separately. Because they do that with GTA Online now.
Exactly.
It took them years to do it.
Yeah,
Will they do it at launch? Maybe?
Because, I mean, they want as many people in the ecosystem as possible. That's why I've always been skeptical that they're going to jack up the price to a large degree, because most of the money that they made with GTA 5/online was in the online ecosystem.
Yeah.
And so you just want people in there. But they clearly haven't gone the freedom model of just getting anyone in as possible.
Well, that could be interesting. What if GTA 6 Online's free?
Yeah.
I doubt it.
Because if they separate it on launch, I think the online will be free. But
Really?
yeah, because then you could sell the single player game.
Well, yeah, it would separate. If it wasn't, yeah.
And interestingly, because the free online one would get you into the world and potentially inspire you to want to buy the single player game and get that money. It's like it's like a taste of the world without the story.
But if it was free, that could also, and people knew that could also heavily affect the sales for GTA 6 itself.
Possibly.
Because so many people are probably only interested in online.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't come included, but if it's just free, you don't need to buy the single player. Sales.
It might be, in a way, they may have separated it for GTA 5 to sort of test what kind of sales they'll get for the two separated ones. Even though it's very late in the life cycle of GTA 5 and online.
Yeah.
But it would give them some information that would inform them and their strategy for GTA 6. Like, they could obviously go either way, and they obviously have more information than we do as to assess what the best strategy is for money for them. That's all they It's all they really want at the end of the day.
So as always, who knows?
Who knows?
With
know,
Rockstar.
If you happen to know Struass Zelnick and he wants to come on the podcast, I mean,
he's actually done a few interviews with like YouTubers and stuff.
Really?
He did a YouTube an interview last year or earlier this year with a YouTuber.
Is it like a YouTuber or a guy who used to work at the company, or the son of a guy who works at the company?
I don't know what connections he has, but it was the guy that used to act like an NPC or something.
Yeah, I should remember you telling me about this actually now, yeah.
Unless he has some sort of connections, which he might.
Yeah,
Who knows? Struass, you are more than welcome to come on the SixStarPodcast. We will fly to you.
Yeah, we will.
All right, wherever you are. I don't know where you are. This is an open invitation to Struass Zelnick. Come on the next podcast.
Top comment on this episode. Man, I'm an avid watcher, man. Yeah, oh, come on. Don't worry about it.
Who do we need to talk to get Struass on? Would our management know?
No, I
Let's
don't.
put out, I think we put some feelers out. Episode 9 will be the Struass Zelnick interview.
Oh, hopefully.
Yeah. Did you hear about this? GTA... It's a bit noisy in Miami, guys. GTA Enhanced now has DLSS and FSR 3 frame gen. Did you know this?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Okay, so Ben or Videotech made a tweet about this. That's pretty much it.
Yeah,
so
it's huge news. Well, they've released multiple patches for the enhanced version of GTA 5 that obviously affects the online as well, that have continued to improve the graphics
as we knew they would.
Ray tracing and the AI-ness of all this, and it all seems to be a prelude to GTA 6, which is going to have the same technology.
Of course.
But neither of us are developers or have any technical expertise in such things. So for us, it's just like, oh, it looks better.
Yeah.
Sick.
Ben said that he's averaging around 170 to 200 frames per second on his end.
Wow, that's...
with frame gen.
That's the thing, like, I don't use frame gen, because my PC is powerful enough to have at least over 60 FPS or whatever.
Yeah.
And
are you going to try it?
Yeah, well, I don't need that kind of FPS on the enhanced version. Because we record stuff, and like it goes out to a lot of people. So if there's some weird artifact or whatever that actually matters for the viewing experience,
I don't think it would though.
Because if you look really close and pixel peep, you can see smearing and stuff even with the best stuff. But for the individual gaming experience, I think they looked at Steam users just for in general in gaming, and it's like 70+% of people. It's some very high number use some form of DLSS upscaling AI stuff. Because in the player experience, even if something's slightly off sometimes, you still get a much higher FPS and a much better experience.
And it seems like that's how developers are optimizing games now, with how bad optimization is, right? And how
people complain about Unreal Engine 5 all the time, and that people don't optimize their games in the way that they used to. But again, we aren't developers, so...
But the fact that it's working well with GTA Enhanced means that when GTA 6 eventually comes to PC, it should have good FPS, even if it's fake frames,
Yeah, and you'd assume, considering that they're making the game with this tech in mind, rather than having to retroactively put it into a game that was already developed, it would work even better. Yeah, and they're working with Sony, as we discussed before.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think I'm very hopeful for maybe 4K 60 FPS with AI upscaling for Sony PlayStation Pro.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Well, PS5 Pro is meant to be getting this new update.
Yeah, exactly.
Next year, so we'll have to wait and see with that. You would probably know more about just in terms of the age verification stuff, internet wide, than me. I would assume
because not much has actually happened in terms of it coming to GT Online. It's just a lot of speculation and stuff in the code and stuff. Like, it hasn't been implemented.
Really interesting. So you don't know? Yeah, you don't know?
I know about it in general. But I'm pretty confident that it hasn't actually been implemented yet.
It has. Some users...
What does it say there? This is a Reddit post, right?
Age verification preview for GTA 5 Online. I've seen multiple posts on Reddit about people having to verify their age.
Maybe the UK already, you reckon?
For some users, supposedly, you now have to verify your age to play GTA Online. Thoughts?
Well, obviously I'm not a fan of it. I mean, it's weird that all this is seemingly coming and happening at the same time. The UK has its laws that passed in 2023 or whatever, and it gradually came into effect and now it's fully enforced.
You can hate on Rockstar for it, but it's like
it's not their fault.
It's an internet-wide thing right now. Everyone.
Australia, we're about to pass laws. Well, you and me personally about to pass these laws. I mean, the government that's going to require some restrictions on the internet, and because obviously, well, they say they're just trying to impact people under the age of 18 or 16, I think, in our country. But to prove that you're not 16 or 18, you have to impact everyone. You have giving this information to the government and third-party private companies that who knows what they'll do with it or if there'll be a leak.
Yeah.
Everything seems to leak these days. But YouTubers doing their AI thing where they're detecting who is likely a child. Or
the way YouTube's doing it's pretty scuffed. With your viewing habits.
Oh, yeah.
If they think, based on what you watch, if they think you are under 18, you need to verify your age.
Are you watching Roblox, man? There's no way you're over the age of 18.
If you're watching Dark Viper AU, guys, you are definitely over 18. Or if you're watching me. So, moral of the story, if you don't want to give YouTube your ID, watch more of us.
Yeah. I mean, I've looked at my analytics and it says I make 5% of my audience between the ages of 13 and 17. Yeah. But of course, a lot of people just set their age to 18 when they do it.
Yeah.
And like 10% of my audience is in the UK, so I wonder how this is going to actually impact my viewer numbers. I haven't seen like anything super major. Things have seemed a little slow, but I don't know. But there's a lot of other stuff happening around this that's not directly related to GTA. With the payment processors are trying to restrict certain websites based on like them having lewd material and stuff. This is something I've only seen in passing, but there's been talks that they're going to go after Valve, and Valve has actually had to take down some adult-ish games, and so people speculate, maybe they'll start, when like violent games like GTA, maybe GTA 6 will be too risque, and then these payment processors will be like, Rockstar, this content in your games, we're not a fan, we're not going to process all your shark card transactions unless you take this out. I don't like the idea of any of this, but a lot of it is... I don't think a huge amount of it is happening right now, but there's a lot of speculation that it's going to snowball and continue.
I just think, as we've seen over the years, people will find a way around it, no matter what.
But it's always the case where barriers to entry always impact someone.
Yeah, of course. But if you want to find a way around it, you'll be able to, I think.
Yeah, more than likely. I mean, I was trying to use a VPN while we were here to watch Bleach on Disney Plus. It's available in Australia, and so I VPN myself back to Australia.
Yeah, that's bizarre.
And it didn't work. Wouldn't let me have it. Disney apparently can detect that I'm using a VPN, and they say, "Nah, you are actually in the US, son. You can't watch what I paid for with my Australian account because I'm in the wrong country." So it's tough, and the harder it becomes, the more technical expertise you need to be able to get around these things, and so a smaller amount of people are going to get around them. But as I say, I'm not sure how much this is actually in GTA currently.
I believe some people, as I said, I think some people are.
It could be a test, and some people are just,
There's got to be a good reason Rockstar's doing it though, because Rockstar likes money.
Yeah, they don't want to do it. It's just more. It's just more technical overhead and potential things to go wrong or to blow back and stuff. I'm sure they don't want kids playing the game necessarily, but they obviously don't want to have to deal with this bullshit either. Obviously, they're just trying to protect themselves.
I don't think they care if kids are playing the game.
I think they'd rather, because kids aren't spending money. Well, of course they may grow up and spend money, but I mean, kids. I think the average 14-year-old does not have money.
No, but they have their parents' money.
Oh yeah, I guess. I mean, true, but. I think it's more...
That's what all the oppressor users are... that's how they got their oppressors in GTA.
Like, I'm sure that their whales, the people who pay the most money, are people who are, have a 9 to 5. And they'd rather just not have the headache of, potentially having blowback.
You smell that?
Yeah, to a whiff of weed. Lamar's down there.
Welcome to Miami. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't like these trends, and I think this is just, in general, bad for the game, but I can understand why Rockstar would be going along these lines.
Yeah. Alright, you want to get into the viewer questions?
Was that all 4 topics?
That's it.
Jesus.
And that's everything. Like, that's it. There are no other topics at all to discuss when it comes to GTA 6. There's been nothing. Like, most of the news accounts that cover GTA now have started covering, like, Battlefield.
Yeah, that's just true.
Because there's just nothing.
So, So you guys can write questions here. I had a few more questions from the Discord, but I can get your feedback now, as we probably should be reading as we went through.
Look at that Miami sunset behind us, guys. Isn't it gorgeous? Hey?
Yeah, beautiful stuff. Retro here says, I understand it for games on platforms like Steam, to be honest. Age ratings for games are kind of irrelevant due to digital marketplaces. You used to have someone in a shop who wouldn't give you the game if you were too young for it. Now we have an easy way to bypass age check on Steam. Yeah, all they do is just have you put in your birthday, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
But even then, people just use their parents' IDs. Just like, I was 13 when I first played GTA 5, or 14. My dad bought it for me.
Yes.
It's what happened to everyone. It's going to be the same thing, just online.
I mean, I have heard that people have gotten around the face verifications from the UK by using characters from video games. So, like a lot of like, when Australia was talking about implementing these laws, one of the immediate questions was, how do you enforce this stuff? How do you enforce bans for social media for those under the age of 16? How do you do that in an effective way that also isn't a major inconvenience to everyone else, or a security risk? It's like I'm not necessarily against restricting kids from social media that young. It just effectively seems impossible. Like on an individual basis, on a family basis, parents will probably have an easier time restricting their kids than the government implementing some policy that has wide-reaching implications that will somehow be more effective and without inconveniencing everyone else. And like as hard as it is, like it's hard as a parent to keep your kid away from mobile phones and the internet. And
impossible.
Yeah, I mean, people get phones like when they're 12, well, maybe even younger than that. You see like 8-year-old kids with like fucking iPhones and shit. So, this person speaking that age verification thing, it's unconfirmed if it will be added to PC, consoles, or only one of them. As this person speaking as if it hasn't been implemented yet.
Okay. Well, apologies if we've got anything wrong. I've been on holidays for a month, so I'm not locked in the space right now. But actually, before we get to the viewer questions, we have one more topic to discuss. I didn't add it in there, but your tweet about 11.
Oh yeah. Oh, we didn't talk about Wanted either.
Oh right. So we got two more topics. All right. It's a bit scuffed here, guys.
Yeah.
Let's talk about 11 first, because this is hilarious.
Yeah.
An innocent mistake, really. Like
I'm blameless, though. It's all on you. I mean...
And Aitana, she got us tickets to this place.
Yes, it's with Facebook.
Okay.
So you explain yours.
Okay, so... As we said at the start of the video, we're going around to all of these GTA 6 locations, including the club that Jason and Lucia were dancing in the trailer. It's called 919. It's a direct parody of one of the biggest nightclubs in Miami, 11. Now, everywhere you look online, we even bought tickets for this place. Everywhere online you look, it's a nightclub. It's a nightclub. Just like GTA 6, it looks like a nightclub.
Mm-hmm. And they put a lot of effort into making sure that that's how they're presented to everyone. Just a nightclub.
Now, I'm getting patted down by the security guard here, right? Metal detection and whatnot. And he says, while laughing, have a good night, bro.
Yeah, and he sees us with our girlfriends. Aitana's with me, Bella's with TGG, and the four of us are going into this nightclub. And Aitana had gone to the effort, thankfully, given what's about to happen, that she reached out to someone who was doing like music at the nightclub. And
she got
a
on the
DJ.
guest list.
Yeah, she gets on the guest list, so we don't have to pay $50 for a ticket or whatever to get inside. $50, how crazy! So we got in for free, thankfully. And we're walking in, and Aitana, she's like, "Oh, these girls really dress down." And there's this chick basically has her ass hanging out of her clothes, whatever. And as we continue to walk in, we see more and more women with less and less clothing. And we get in there, and there's just like some poles and some chicks on like a little platform out there shaking their asses. We're like, oh, this is not a nightclub. This is definitely a strip club.
It was my girlfriend's birthday.
Yeah. Hopefully she always had the dream of going to a strip club on her birthday. I doubt it. But very, very awkward. And we obviously were there to get some shots of the place. But
yeah, we couldn't film that shot.
No.
No surprises there. So the shot of Jason and Lucia dancing in the nightclub in trailer 2, that will not be featured in our upcoming videos.
I actually tried to stealthily take pictures of the place, just
I feel like that's illegal.
Oh, okay, maybe I didn't do that, but if I did do that, the quality wasn't good enough for me to keep them. So the lighting was really, really bright, as it often is in these clubs, and like there was probably like a scantily clad woman for every guy there. Like there were.
Oh, there were so many.
In the same way,
there were way too many.
Yeah, with a normal nightclub, it's like guys probably outnumber chicks, and that's why chicks often get it for free. At this nightclub, strip club, there was more women than there were patrons.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It was wild. And it's funny because you can go online, you can find pictures of the place, and you would never find like strippers.
No, and we read online that from locals saying locals know it's a strip club, no one else does, because they try very hard to keep their online persona as just being a nightclub, not being a strip club.
But why? Why don't they want it to be is it? I don't know, because I mean, you'd think more people would go and not be tricked like us.
Yeah, I don't
know. We bought one drink and left.
Yeah.
That's the story we're going with.
Yeah, we're not going to tell them about the other stuff now.
Yeah.
How much was it, by the way?
What, the drink?
No.
No. Yeah, no.
You're not going to tell me?
No.
Okay. I'm surprised Aitana was okay with it, but anyway.
Aitana's a very understanding.
Yeah. So anyway, the videos that we make hopefully will be good, but it won't feature any content from the nightclub.
Honestly, I prefer having the story than the pictures, because it was just a very funny night.
Shall we talk about let's address the controversy.
You're stealing from children? 10 grand stolen from a child's mouth. TGG, the home wrecker.
Now, if you haven't seen Wanted, one of the fastest growing GTA channels, headed by Laserbeam, Marcus or Prestige Clips, Bazza, Beanbag, Creator. They have about 600,000 subs right now. Their most recent video, in a few days, already has 1 million views. It's doing fantastic.
I think just 2 days. 2 days, I think.
Yeah, I'm really happy for them. And it is 100 cops versus the world's best GTA player. But essentially what it was is 10 creators, we were 2 of them, compete in a series of challenges with the winner taking home $10,000. If you haven't seen it, you can watch it either on the Wanted channel or you can watch our perspectives on both of our channels.
And you can watch them both as well. Like you do get more content from, because different people included different content from the event.
Very controversial ending. So if you haven't watched it yet and you don't want to be spoiled, honestly, I think it's one of the best GTA videos ever made, personally. So I would go watch it. If you haven't seen it, 3, 2, 1, spoilers. So I won. But it was surrounded in a lot of controversy, which really, the controversy shouldn't exist, but because of the way the video was edited, very controversial.
Yeah. So you last match, probably, where the controversy is.
Okay, so the final round, it's a 1v1. Me versus another creator, Bruffy1322. Bruffy has a smaller channel, not as big viewership, so he's definitely the underdog, right? That's how Wanted framed the video. They want me to be the bad guy, they want Bruffy to be the good guy, which is understandable. Bruffy probably needs the money more than I do. However, we were told very explicitly that you need to try your hardest. So I couldn't just let Bruffy win, even if I wanted to.
And to be clear, also there was so they said in the video as well, like Bruffy recently had a child. And
Bruffy's a new dad.
Yeah,
yes.
He's a new dad, and he's like, I'll spend the money on getting this stuff for my kid and all that jazz. And
of course.
And so more sympathy in terms of the audience being like, I really want Bruffy to win this final round and get that 10K.
Oh, absolutely. And the way they scripted the video was fantastic, by the way. Like, it made people mad, which is great.
Apparently they got the most engagement comment-wise of any video.
It was great. So how the final round worked was there were 8 eliminated players, all of the YouTubers that had died. Bruffy and I had to take turns picking 4 targets. So we go 1, 1, 1, 1 until we both have 4 targets. We need to then hunt those targets down, put them in a truck, and bring them back to the podium. Whoever gets all 4 bounties first wins $10,000. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of money.
And they were aware where each of us were around the map. Like, they had like little arrows pointed to it. So it was more, trying to juke them, avoid them and stuff. We were injured, we could only move at a certain speed and we had a taser, so we couldn't actually kill TG or Bruffy.
Yeah. Now, in the end, I should say first, I picked Matt. So Matt was one of the people that I had to hunt down. However, you were my last selection.
Yes.
Okay, so Matt was the last person I picked. I didn't want to have to go and kill Matt. I picked 3 other people who I thought were easier targets.
And Bruffy got unnamed as
who is the best
well.
GTA player in the world, or one of them. Now, it got to... I got my 3 targets, and then I went to get Matt. Matt was the final target that I had to get. I didn't know... Bruffy and I are both fighting our targets. We don't know how the other one's doing. Matt, once he found out that I was the one coming to kill him, gave up.
Yeah, so I didn't know who was chasing me until the very end, until I actually saw TG coming towards me with his car. He had the other 3 guys in there, and TG's like... Because I'd already decided that I was just going to effectively give up if I saw TG coming for me. I was at the very corner of the map. I was in, like, an enclosed space, just hiding. Like, there was no way I'm going to...
You were in a terrible spot.
Yeah, there was no way I was going to be able to escape. The thing that I did was just get the furthest distance possible away from where they needed to take all the people. And so I knew I was going to be, like... I was either going to put up a play fight or whatever and then just fail, or I was just going to, as ended up happening, I just gave up, basically, and let him shoot me. But to be clear... There was no way, even had I tried, that I would have like survived more than like a minute tops. There was no cover. I was in a corner by myself.
A horrible spot.
And he just shoot me 3 times with a shotgun. I might have tased him once or twice, but obviously
for context, like I killed Marcus, I think in about 1 minute.
Yeah.
I killed Cray in about 4 or 5 minutes, and I killed Baz in I think about 2 minutes.
And they had like
way better spots.
They had things to cover and
Yeah.
climb and tase you from the top and stuff.
Now Bruffy. Okay. Few things we need to say here. First, before the final round, because Bruffy and I, we like each other, right? Bruffy's great. We decided that we were going to split the money, 70-30. Now, Wanted actually told us not to do this, but we said, fuck it, we're going to do it anyway. I don't care, because it's a very stressful environment, and we thought if we made it this far, like we helped each other in the round before as well, we both deserve something.
Yeah, and it's tough when there's no second place. Like it's
Exactly.
all or nothing. Like a lot of tournaments will kind of do this. Like the people who get near the end will split the prize money.
Yeah,
especially when there's some luck involved because you don't know how things are going to play out the next round.
So Bruffy and I split it 70-30. This was decided before the final round, and we said, all right, go crazy. Try your best. Now that we know we're going to get at least $3,000, let's do it. Let's go.
This, of course, not included in any of the videos.
No.
So
Except Bruffy's. Bruffy didn't.
Oh, Bruffy, but in the main video.
Now, the way the video was edited, it made it look like Matt giving up was the reason that I won. However, Bruffy, again being the great guy that he is, actually went back and calculated the times. I collected all of my targets and got back in a total of 11 minutes. Bruffy took 21 minutes.
It wasn't close, but it
wasn't close.
But it was edited to seem very close.
And Bruffy said himself, even if Dark Viper tried his hardest, TGG still would have won by about 8 minutes.
Yeah, I would have had to have done like twice better, or maybe 3 times better than anyone else in a fucking corner.
So this whole argument of Matt giving up was the reason I won. Even Bruffy himself, who lost it, like he debunked it. He said that's not true. But even if people accept that, there are still a lot of people that are saying I should have let Bruffy win regardless.
And to be clear, it's debatable how much of this is just joking. Some people probably just being in on the meme. Like I, as I said just before, you're stealing money from kids and
Yes.
stuff. It's funny. It's a thing, but a lot of people did say this stuff seriously. It's questionable how much of this context that we're giving now was known about or is now spread since people had those perceptions.
Yeah.
But that was, the controversy. And
Anyway, Bruffy and I agreed, let's try. Let's both try and win. Now that we've decided to split the money, let's do it. And I just don't understand the thought process of people saying, I should have just, intentionally lost.
Yeah. It's funny, given that they criticized me for intentionally losing, but saying you should have intentionally lost.
And Unnamed, Bruffy had to hunt down Unnamed.
Yeah.
Unnamed jumped off a building as well on purpose.
That's true. After, screwing Bruffy for so goddamn long, and, interesting, well, it makes sense that if you devise a peak strategy of shooting a person down from a ladder, that you would use it. I don't criticize Sunday for doing that, but maybe it was a problem with the format. Like, I think maybe Wanted, they should have programmed it so we couldn't climb ladders. Because you can just camp a ladder and permanently with a stun gun and they'd never get
They did say to probably not do that.
Did they?
From the footage I watched, I went back to your hospital footage, and I'm pretty sure Marcus said, like, don't climb. If you want to climb ladders, but it's like it's a cheap
I think he said, put up a fight, but don't be a dick about it or whatever. So, I guess everyone's going to have a different idea as to what being a dick entails.
Anyway, I'm happy to be the villain. Like, if that's the way that they have to frame the video to make it get more views, awesome. I think it's a fantastic video. Bruffy and I are fine. We actually worked on another video that's going to be coming out. It's probably out, honestly, by the time the podcast will go live. So we've already followed up with another video. Bruffy and I are great. He's a great dude. Definitely go sub. We're all good.
And just to be clear, I also gave him $500 USD. And I didn't know that you split the money with him. I might not have given him the money had I known that. Yeah. But as I say, Bruffy's doing great, and the videos. This is the first time that Wanted have allowed us to put our perspective on our channels in our own videos, and it hasn't. It's a fan trying to screw
Miami.
trying to screw the video. It's the first time they've let us do our perspectives, and I don't know, I didn't know how that would affect the video on their channel. At the very least, it hasn't stopped it being successful, so it may have actually helped it be more successful. And apparently they're gonna, for the ones we're invited back for in the future, that we're gonna be able to make our own videos again for our channels. So it's just good, more views for everyone and more content. I was, because obviously in these productions there is often technical difficulties. And in the Wanted video on the main channel, they don't include those technical difficulties because it kind of slows down the video. But in my footage, I did include some of them because it was just funny.
So funny.
It was just because we get locked in place and I'm just bantering with the cops around me. And I hope they don't, dislike that or something because it didn't really impact the actual round. Everything still played out normally.
They used to put outtakes for members only. They don't anymore. I know Bruffy put out a lot of outtakes in a separate video as well.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, that might not even be a bad idea if you want to just put all the outtakes in a separate video, because it's funny stuff.
Yeah, it's funny. And Marcus, someone from the Wanted channel did comment on my video and say they liked it, so I guess they couldn't have been that sore about it.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
So, all in all, don't think the controversy makes sense as long as you get the context, but...
with context, there is no controversy.
Yeah.
It's just...
I can understand some people being a bit sore about it without having the context, but at the same time, some of it was just a bit over the top. I mean, it is, at the end of the day, just a game.
It's just getting dark.
There's a pink cloud in the background. Oh. I think there was.
Should I put a light on? See if it... Because now that it's nighttime.
Yeah. Yeah, that helps. That definitely helps. That's fine. Come on. I can live with this. Meadow Shores to Fry. There are a lot of good cars. Very expensive cars in Miami and at this particular hotel. What cars were down there?
We've seen a McLaren, a Lambo, a Ferrari, lots of Rolls Royces. Some dude had to take his bumper off the McLaren because he couldn't get it up the driveway.
Yeah, it's I say I know these are the names of expensive cars, but I can't point them out.
A Progen T20 is what it was.
Yeah, so I know that one. Okay.
Yeah.
Orange Viper returns. Yes, Orange Matter. For those who don't know, you can leave questions for future podcasts in the Discord, and I go through them and try and pick out podcasts.
Or in the comment section.
But do you go through the comments here? Ready?
You don't read comments?
No, I do, but I don't take questions and then remember them from
later.
Well,
now, starting right now...
I mean, fuck it, I can get someone from the team to go back through all the comments and find...
Yeah, let's do that.
Do you expect your Facts and Glitches series to be considerably harder to create with GTA 6, since Rockstar might do a much better job with glitches, exploits compared to GTA 5? No.
It will be way easier. 100 times easier.
Easier? Why easier?
At the start...
Oh, because there'll be less...
There's going to be so many facts.
Oh,
because right now, for both of our facts series, we need to dig pretty deep now to find interesting facts and glitches
that haven't been covered.
Yeah, but there's going to be hundreds that we'll be able to find.
I think the question was more speaking about the glitches. They they're asking like, will this game be more solid, less glitch heavy?
No.
I think the glitches that get covered or found in all these years is more because of just how large the game is and how many different ways you can interact with things.
This could have more. It probably will have more glitches than GTA 5
if the game is larger and more complex. Certainly, and as well, most games don't get played consistently for 12, 13 plus years. With continuous updates that have a possibility of breaking things.
Yeah.
Like if you took any game over the last 13 years and had hundreds of thousands of people just play it, you would find heaps of glitches, heaps of bugs and facts, but most people just don't care about them. And again, most games don't get that kind of attention for so long. Because I've had people say, "Oh man, GTA 5 is such a glitch game, so badly programmed. Look at all these glitches that have been found. Like you've got 1,000 of them." Yeah, but it's just millions of people playing the game, and the game is bigger than basically any game certainly released around the time. It's and of course it's people want to know about these glitches. It's profitable for most games. It's not profitable to find thousands of glitches and just continue to throw them up on YouTube. Yeah. I'm sure Watch Dogs had a bazillion glitches, but no one cared about Watch Dogs to the same degree they cared about.
Whoa!
Well, people still like Watch Dogs to this day. No, people, have you seen the mods they've made for Watch Dogs? No. They add back on all this cut content and they revamp a lot of the different mechanics and stuff. Apparently, Watch Dogs, if you want to play the first one, is insane these days.
I really wish that game was. I wish Watch Dogs got close to GTA. I wish it was like a Saints Row level competitor back in the day. When Saints Row and GTA were kind of.
Well, they're trading blows and mocking each other in their marketing material and stuff. I don't know, because I never paid attention much back then. I suppose I don't know how much they really traded blows, but obviously GTA won in the end.
Yeah, I like Watch Dogs 1.
Yeah, I really like Watch Dogs 1, and the more games I play, the more I like Watch Dogs 1 in retrospect because it just seems even better. Play Mind's Eye and go, well, Watch Dogs is pretty good. Are you going to explore the keys? We've already explored the keys. That was a while back.
That was fun.
Yeah, it was nice.
That was really nice. Except for the person that almost died. That's actually kind of a funny story.
Person was...
in trailer 2, the pier where Jason and Lucia are sitting down watching the sunset? So we were trying to record a scene with Matt and Aitana on the exact same pier, but we couldn't because someone was getting pulled off by an ambulance. Basically, in a neck brace, they almost died. And
we don't know exactly what they did, but they then flipped something or a jet ski or something.
No, something
definitely got.
There were cops there, fire truck, ambulance, and then after they were finally taken away, about 100 people were there watching the sunset.
We discovered that scene with Lucia and Jason wholly unrealistic because
there's so many people there.
That spot is well known as a place you can very well see sunsets, and so like everyone from the area and tourists as well, because it's like hotels around, all pile onto that little pier and watch the sunset.
But the small pier next to it, no one.
Surprisingly, I guess because you can't fit as many people there. Yeah, because there was groups of people. And
so we did the same scene just on the pier next to it. It's a different shape, but it'll have to do. We can't ask like 50 people to move, so.
Do you think another game series will rise to try and rival GTA 6?
No.
Similar to how Just Cause rose to rival GTA San Andreas?
No. The amount of money that's required to make a game like that, even Watch Dogs has seemingly decided it's not worth it. Right?
Yeah.
So, who is seriously going to be able to invest hundreds of millions, close to $1 billion, to make a game that's on the same level? I just don't see it.
Especially considering you need to have enough manpower to make not only a single-player game, but also an online game to fully compete.
Unless Cyberpunk tried to make an online, but even then it's not a direct competitor because it's set in the future.
Yeah, and it's because I'm not really, I don't know the exact lines of different genres, but it's more RPG heavy, right? Like
yes,
more,
it is.
With Rockstar, you don't have a character in a story that is set and more linear, where you have more choices and stuff in Cyberpunk, right?
Yes, in the single player, but who knows? If they made an online that was different, where you could own all these properties, maybe it wasn't so RPG heavy.
I would like to be like a fly on the wall when they discuss the idea of making an online world for Cyberpunk and why they didn't do it.
They were supposed to, yeah.
I mean, considering how the game released.
No, but I believe that was in their plans.
And what you just
publicly,
and they just want to move on to other stuff, or
I guess they got too caught up fixing the game.
Yeah. I mean, it did end up being a good game, so.
Yeah, I finished it a couple months ago, and it's definitely top 10, maybe a top 5 game.
I still want to go back and play it.
Yeah.
When you got to the end, did you want to play it again so you could experience the other kind of routes and stuff? Or?
I went back and played like different endings, but I didn't do the whole game again. But a lot of people would.
Yeah, I've heard it's a game that people do replay.
I didn't like my ending, so I went and got a different one. Yeah.
Matt, do you think you'll be able to purchase homes or apartments in GTA 6 Story Mode? Because I mean, you
homes.
Because in the earlier 3D version, you could get homes, and it would give you different save points and different things you could build and stylize.
You couldn't in GTA 4 though, right? Your safe house kind of moved as you moved throughout the game.
I believe so, and that's where they can carry it over into GTA 5, and it was just businesses for GTA 5. I guess it depends on what kind of game 6 is.
I'm going to say no. Because it seems like, from what we've seen in trailer 2 especially, it seems like Jason and Lucia will be on the run for a lot of the game. And it just doesn't seem like there's any feasible way to make it make sense that they could just buy a property. You know?
Unless they're like renting the place. But I think that there was a functional reason for the buying of properties back then, because you needed additional save points, because there wasn't just a save anywhere from your phone kind of function. Like I don't know, it would be cool, I suppose, but I just don't think that's the kind of stuff that, especially because they will have the online for that stuff. Like, why bother putting in single player and taking away from online? Like, you buy a mansion in single player, especially when you could just cheat in all that money, and then go online. It's no longer special buying a mansion because you bought it in single player already.
We've already seen from the leaks that you'll be able to buy a lot of businesses, and the businesses will be a lot more in depth than 5's story. But
what are you going to use the money for if you got to use businesses? If you can't buy a property, what's the point of the money? I mean, just cars,
guns.
Like I think there must be some permanent buildings, maybe at the end of the game, that you can buy like stuff for, and like, you know.
What if Jason and Lucia die though?
I just don't think they'll go that route. Unless, of course, they do that thing where, like, the end's mission kills them, but then, like, afterwards, you just before that mission, and you can just have them killed over and over again.
They die, and then you play as Kai.
No.
You don't think Kai is?
No, I don't think so. No. You're talking about the streamer, right, Kai? No. Who's Kai?
The third playable character. Don't worry about it.
This is some rumor that there's a third playable character, Kai. I have not heard of this.
I've said too much.
I've heard of the idea of a third playable character. What the fuck is a Kai?
It's okay.
When IDs eventually get leaked, because Rockstar's security sucks shit, how do they deal with the legal stuff, you think? Pay people? Force to up security losing money? Last time I'll ask, don't want to spam. Because, I mean, that's what people said. Like, you know, you can use mod menus and get people's IP address and stuff. Can we really trust Rockstar to be taking people's IDs to verify them? But I mean, I imagine they wouldn't keep that information. Like, you'd be verified with some registry that exists somewhere else, and then they would just delete it.
You would
somehow.
think.
Because the more they keep that information, but then again, you'd have to. I don't know, because then they just verify you. There'd be a tick on your account that says, "Hey, you're above this age."
I don't think they'd keep it. That seems dodgy.
Yeah.
But
I suppose then this information, like, some system of verification would have to exist with some third party, that would be the place where this information would leak rather than Rockstar. So Rockstar's probably not going to ever have anything culpable for them, and they couldn't be blamed because, like, well, we're just following the fucking law. What do you want us to do? Yeah, I don't think they can have any issue along those lines. I don't think people are going to sue Rockstar directly.
Yeah.
Who would be the one character from the entire series that you would want to see in GTA 6?
A character from the entire series.
You just get Tommy out, and how old would he be? 80 or something?
Well, Ray Liotta's...
Oh, well, no, he could still be there, just like, you know, at the end of the Dark Knight-esque thing where they just, like, tilt the glass to the main characters or whatever.
What do you think?
I want Nico Bellic to come back, because I just think it'd be funny. I don't know why
it makes no sense.
It makes no sense, but it would just be funny. To have Nico Bellic show up and go, "Hey, I'm Nicole Bellic, let's go bowling.
Of the characters that could realistically return, like Dave.
Yeah, it's just some representative of...
Because Agent, what's his name? Agent ULP came back from GTA 4.
But is that the character you want to see? Because there's a lot of characters... Because I made a tier list about what characters could realistically appear.
I don't know if I'm different, but why do we need to bring characters back?
We don't.
Look how great GTA 5 was. It had almost no characters from GTA 4.
Well, it actually had quite a few.
No pivotal, like, that played a big role.
No.
Right? It did. Of course, it had,
There was actually a surprising amount of GTA 4 references if you really...
Tony and...
Yeah, and then, the Johnny they killed, and then his girlfriend as well.
Yeah,
there was quite a few when you tally them up, but none of them were really impactful or stayed around. But the online, though, gave so much opportunities for them to bring back other characters, and especially for easy engagement, that surely that's going to happen. In the online, they will definitely bring back characters.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But, no, I don't want any of them to play a pivotal role.
You're indifferent.
Yeah, I don't care if they bring...
At the end of the day, it ultimately depends on how they bring them back and if it's interesting. Because you just want a good story. And I don't think any of the GTA 5 characters would, in of themselves, inherently make GTA 6's story better. We have
been with GTA 5 for so long that people are kind of afraid to move on, and they forget that they're actually going to fall in love with Jason and Lucia as characters and all of the surrounding cast, that they're going to forget about these. Well, not forget, but, you don't need these guys in this story.
A part of me wants to think that Rockstar would be less willing to bring characters from GTA 5 into GTA 6 because of how long we spent with that world. But I realize that kind of mindset comes from me, who's played GTA 5 for an ungodly amount of hours. For a lot of people, they played single player maybe once in 2013, 2014. So the characters would still be like, oh yeah, that Michael guy, I haven't heard about him for 10 years. And so, they could bring them back for those people, but... Martin Madrazo, with the drugs, but Martin's been in online so much, you don't need more of him, right?
Yeah.
The characters who would be the most easiest to bring back were the ones that were the most easiest to bring back for online, and so they'd be less sense than bring back in GTA 6.
Yeah.
Do you think there will be a YouTuber creator Easter egg in GTA 6? I think so.
I think there'll be an Easter egg to one YouTuber, sure. Whoever that is, I don't know.
I think there will obviously be satirization of the entire social media content creator space with the influencers. Like, I have 15,000 followers on Instagram. Give me this free meal. It's all that stuff. But whether it would be direct references to individual YouTubers, I don't think Rockstar has been attached enough to individual creators to really bother.
And certainly none of us.
No.
A lot of people ask that, but in the grand scheme of things, we're not very big creators compared to the whole ecosystem.
Yeah, there's people who are just dwarf us on a massive level, and it's weird to think that, considering how successful we are. It's just there's people who are 100 times more successful than us.
If they were going to do a GTA creator Easter egg, it would probably be Vanos or someone like that.
Yeah, people who think. Around for ages, But even then, Vanos had a lot of... Well, not him individually, but a lot of people he played with had a lot of controversies and,
I don't think Rockstar cares too much.
In terms of, value that brings versus potential controversy, I think the value is next to nothing. And
Rockstar loves the controversy, though. They're not like a normal company.
Well, still, to this day, do you think they like the controversy? Maybe.
100%.
Do you think GTA 6 would have different endings like GTA 5? Because...
I hope not.
Because GTA 4 had different endings as well, right? Did they do different endings in the 3D games? I don't think so, right? No.
No, not until... I think GTA 4 was the first.
Yeah, and so they did 4 or 5, but
There's people on a boat, yeah.
We should be on a boat. Doing this podcast on a boat, that's the next one. But yeah, I don't... Considering how A and B were so dismissed in online as clearly not being canon, and how many problems it caused them, given that online began to contradict those endings and stuff. Especially, they probably made those multiple endings, again, with the idea that online would exist for a year or two, and they wouldn't need to continue to advance the story. So maybe they would just avoid the headache of multiple endings because they know they'll be supporting the online for a lot longer.
I hate not knowing what the canon ending is for a story. That annoys me. I'm okay with minor differences and decisions you make with like maybe some side characters, their story plays out a bit different, but I just hate the idea of the main ending being so different for so many players.
Yeah. And as well, it's hard to make all endings make sense with a coherent story all the way up to that point.
And there's always going to be like a couple that are clearly rushed or clearly don't make perfect sense.
And you can pick out so many plot holes and stuff. And as well, in the case of GTA 5, where you're meant to, well, GTA 6 I assume as well, where you're meant to continue to play it after the end, it's hard to have that make sense when you have multiple endings and stuff. In the case where the 100% of GTA 5 could not include Michael's or Trevor's side missions, because if you killed one of them, you couldn't complete the game. And as well, for those who killed them, their experience after the story, it was a less of a full experience. You couldn't play those characters anymore. And so most people went back, and when they found out they could do ending C, and just did ending C.
Yeah, exactly.
And so there was one ending that was clearly made, it was a better ending, and it made more sense gameplay-wise. So yeah, I would think that they wouldn't go the route of multiple endings.
I'd be okay if they did what they did with Red Dead 2, where like the way Arthur dies is a bit different, but Arthur dies.
Yeah.
Right? That's fine, I think. It's a very minor difference.
The high on the low end honor stuff, the entire game where the wordings, what people say change, and
but the overall story is the same.
Yeah. We covered the idea of Jason and Lucia having a personal vehicle in an old episode, right? Yeah. A previous episode, Delta, go back. Watch the older episodes, guys. Even though some of the news isn't as relevant now, like a lot of the commentary we have and the questions we answer are back there. Favorite location you visited that's going to appear in GTA 6? So for those who don't know, while we were here, we went on an airboat. Is it what it's called? Yeah, airboat.
Yeah, just like the ones in the screenshots.
And the trailer 1 had one as well.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah. And what's it called in the game again? The water...
The grass rivers.
The grass rivers.
Yeah.
And so we just went for like an hour and a half just going over this water with these reeds and stuff, and it was extraordinarily peaceful. The fans were so loud that you had to have like a headset on, earmuffs.
Yeah.
But we saw one turtle and one crocodile, but they said like it depends on the season as to how many you're likely to see. But it didn't feel like an hour and a half. It was just so chill and so beautiful. And it'd be interesting to see if Rockstar can kind of capture that magic in the game.
I think they will. Ocean Drive always is great as well.
Yeah.
That's always fun. The beach. But yeah, I think the Everglades might be number one.
Yeah, I mean, it's just such a different experience than what I normally experience in my day-to-day life, whatever. A city, at the end of the day, is a city, even if it has a cool culture and a vibrant life and feel as this one does. Do you think GTA 6 will have other US states other than Florida or Georgia, maybe Louisiana or parts of Alabama? You can speak more to that.
Probably not at launch, but it's been reported for a while now that GTA Online will get map expansions. It's pretty likely. So whether it's just an expansion out or if there's new states, I'd say we'll probably get new states in Online.
It would be interesting if, like, they had just an airport, and in a way it's like an entirely different game. Kind of, in a sense, like you abandon the state and you go to another state and there's whole new characters, whole new stories and stuff. And that's a way of, avoiding the bloat.
And, like, you can't bring your vehicles across.
Maybe that as well.
Or you need to pay, like, a big fee to ship a vehicle, and you can't just move it back and forth. It's going to be, like, a $100,000 fee to ship it to the new state or something like that. That would be a great idea.
You won't be getting necessarily... Well, phone calls technically can go over state, but they could do a thing where you won't get the phone calls from the previous city.
Like you said, essentially make new games.
Yeah, the issue with that, though, is that it's a lot more dev time to build an entirely new city rather than just building experiences in the city you've already built.
I don't think it'll be that long until we get Los Santos brought back.
Really? I'm skeptical, honestly.
I think Los Santos will be in GTA 6 Online at some point.
Yeah, I mean, that's at some point, perhaps, sure.
It's nostalgic. Imagine, like, we go 5 to 10 years without Los Santos and they bring it back. The hype that would bring.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
It's
like the OG Fortnite map.
Yeah, true.
Right? Like, and the OG Warzone map, all of them. Yeah, it's just what happens. Yeah.
Are both of you going to do a playthrough with in-game music and radio stations on at least once, since licensed music is a huge part of the franchise? I know a lot of new games have an option where you can turn off licensed music.
I hope GTA 6 has that.
Yeah, because even Cyberpunk had that, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and so I would assume that that's what we're going to do, at least in the first playthrough.
For the first playthrough, it's just, as cool as it would be to play with the original music that they intend, like, we would be losing a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like, because we give up 100% of the ad revenue that we get. Like, we get $0.
Which is insane.
And that's possibly for both of us going to be the biggest streams of our lives so far. Just to earn $0 from that is not ideal.
There will absolutely be a playthrough I do eventually where I listen to all that music. I don't know when that would be.
Yeah.
I do hate that one of the aspects of GTA 5 that I know the least about, other than the names of cars, is the radio stations. Because people ask me, hey, what's your favorite radio station? I'm like, I haven't heard those radio stations in years. Yeah. I was one of the earliest people on Twitch, well, you know, before it became popular, I was already using content ID-free music before Twitch started cracking down on copyrighted music while playing GTA 5 and then speedrunning. And I was very happy I did that very early because a lot of my earlier footage I can still use because it doesn't have the copyrighted music. But my really early footage has like 15 copyright claims per video per speedrun because the radio would play some of the music. Because GTA 5 has some great music on the radio. And there's still, people still drive around today in GTA 5 and listen to it. And of course, the older GTAs have the same thing. And I'm sure Rockstar, being as passionate as they are about music, will include some fucking bangers. Bangers that, you know, it's like when they included songs in the trailers and they would blow up on Spotify because people are like, oh, I haven't heard this song before, this is sick. Yeah. Rockstar, at least someone at Rockstar, knows a lot about very niche, you know, or esoteric music or whatever that only a few people know about. And
whoever's picking the music for the trailers is cooking.
Do you think GTA 6 will ever have a sandbox/role-playing mode where you can spawn in cars at will, change and customize your character, etc., similar to vMenu 5M server? I mean, wasn't that just director mode? Or do you mean like when playing with other people? I mean, 5M is going to be, to some degree, a part of the online ecosystem, the creator content.
I can't wait till we have actual answers for this stuff, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I think they'll give us as much... Well, because how do you think they're going to control... If you're able to make your own server where you can spawn anything you want from the game, how do they justify getting people to buy shark cards and buy those exact same things in the full game? Like, there has to be limitations on that, surely.
Maybe they lock those servers behind GTA Plus. You need GTA Plus to host servers.
Yeah, possibly. Because the Fortnite model is very different in that it's all visual stuff. Where GTA, you actually buy stuff that you use in the game that has gameplay implications.
I hate that. Pay to win?
Yeah,
I hate it.
For the free mode PvP, that's basically it, because you can restrict it anyway.
That's like the main part of the game.
Yeah, but it's the main part that I don't get to play. Well, I haven't really played much because the...
Consider yourself lucky.
Will there be snacks in story mode? I don't... Well, because we have seen them.
There's going to be food.
Yeah, it's similar to Red Dead, I suppose.
Yeah, we just don't know. Yeah, we don't know.
I just hope that you're able to, in a more efficient way, heal to full HP. I fucking hate it in story mode that you can only go to half HP. It drove me crazy.
Should we announce that we're going to be live at PAX?
Oh, yeah. How far away is that?
So about a month and a half, you can come watch us do this podcast live. Hopefully, that could be the next episode, to be honest. Hopefully, hopefully I have more news.
Yeah, hopefully. We have never done it before. We've never gotten like a panel room, but we will be getting one this time round, and we'll be doing a in real life podcast session.
I don't think you need tickets to PAX. I think you can get in for free.
For the theatre thing.
To see us.
Yeah. So if you're in the area...
If you're in Melbourne,
you keep an ear out. We'll confirm 100% if you can come and see us, if even for free. Because the theatres are like a separate area, separate from the actual main hall, and that has its own entrance and stuff. So thank you for watching, guys. Thank you for the support, as always. Feel free to go back and watch the previous episodes. Watch our Wanted videos.
Absolutely. Like, seriously. Watch either of ours, of course, if you want to see our perspectives, but just the one on the Wanted channel.
As well, yes.
I genuinely think that is one of the best GTA videos ever.
And the more views it gets, the more likely we'll do it again. So, well, anything else to say or announce? Or his video will be coming out probably way sooner than mine about all the stuff we've done in Miami, and then mine will come out at some point in a more of a vlog style of all the little things we do and all the outtakes and stuff. And I'm sure I'll probably won't make it into a video.
Apologies for the scuffed audio today. Hopefully it's okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry I have no idea how I lost this bloody speaker. But next time.
And you lost your earphones.
Yeah, that too. I
Aitana lost a hat.
Yeah. To be fair, I kinda lost my earphones. Because technically I was wearing them somewhere that I didn't need them, and I gave them to her. She put them in her purse. She got kind of drunk and they fell out when she was picking something. That's what my theory anyway. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for hanging out.
The mystery of the earphones.
Never to be solved.
Alas. Are we booping?
Boop. Bye, guys. Boop. That's so funny. Thoughts on the panhandle being included/excluded? Is that panhandling as in begging on the street? What's that mean?
Yeah, probably.
Or doing is panhandling just begging, or doing activities and getting
so
money?
Do you think you'll be able to cook? Is what he's asking. With a pan.
That's not. I don't think that's the one that means. No.
Oh, you don't think so?
No. I don't think that's what it means.
No, we don't know about the panhandle yet.
What is panhandle? I thought it was just begging or doing stuff on the street.
There's actually no evidence that necessarily points to it existing, no concrete evidence. If I were to guess, I'm actually going to say no.
Explain it! What are you talking about? I'm going to Google it.
On our trip, Matt doesn't know where we're going. Okay? So we guide this man around, and he's like, where are we?
Let's get Google this.
He doesn't know about the panhandle. Do you know what the shape of Florida is? See?
Well, I know what Florida is shaped like.
What's it shaped like?
Well, it's like this and like that, down like that and like that.
Yeah. Okay, so you do.
Yeah.
That's the panhandle. Think of Florida as a pan. If it was a pan, where would you grab it?
Oh, yeah. So, if you're holding Florida, you're kind of holding, the pan of the rest of the United States. Is that what you're saying? Florida itself is the handle?
No. So think Florida is the entire thing.
Uh-huh.
Which part of Florida is the handle? Alright? So this is a pan. If you were to grab Florida, alright? Let's disconnect Florida from the United States.
Uh-huh.
Where would you pick up Florida from?
One of the two ends, I suppose, right?
So if Florida is a pan, which part is the handle?
I don't know.
Pick one. Where are you grabbing?
The top one.
Right.
Okay.
That's the handle. Florida is the pan.
This is the dumbest shit.
This is the panhandle.
This is the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
It's called the Florida Panhandle.
We are cutting this from the episode.
No, we're not.
This is the dumbest shit.
Do you think that the GTA 6 map will have a panhandle?
I don't know. I don't care. So, okay. So, panhandle can refer to either a geographical feature or a verb. Geographically, a panhandle is a long, narrow strip of land that extends from a larger territory, resembling the handle of a pan.
Yes.
It can also refer to the act of begging for money on the street, similar to holding out a pan to collect donations. So I wasn't wrong. And this person could have been talking about that. If you can beg on the street for money.
No, they're not.
Maybe.
Look up the shape of Florida.
I know what Florida fucking looks like. Okay, I don't care. Do you think it's gonna have the panhandle?
The current mapping project shows a panhandle, but I doubt it. If there is, I don't think it'll be very big because that's a weird shape for a map.
I'm gonna be up late at night thinking about this panhandle thing and whether it's gonna happen. It's very important to my enjoyment of this game. Can we see some jiggle physics?
They weren't asking me. No, don't do it. Don't do it.
It looks like twerk on the floor.
Are you actually thinking about doing that?
Yeah, I'm like, if you weren't here, I probably would, just for the memes, but...
Do you want me to leave?
I'm
going to go to the bathroom. You twerk. You twerk for your audience.
I can't twerk, guys. I've got no arms. Like Aitana has like.
What the fuck are you doing?
Aitana has criticized me for having no ass, especially considering she has a very thick ass. There you go, guys. That's some that's some jiggle physics for you. Okay? Don't say I don't do things for you guys. People charge for those things these days. Yeah, we went to 11. I got inspiration. I learned everything you just saw when we went to the strip club. the night before. TG looks like the average Florida man. You should see the shirt I was wearing for Jason. There's you should see the last time I was in Miami with the Tommy Vercetti shirt. That's crazy. Yeah. What's this music?
Someone on a boat. There's boats down there playing music.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm hearing it from this direction.
No, you're hearing it from this direction.
What? No, I'm fucking not.
Yes, you are.
There's no way.
You think there's someone in your room playing music?
I think it's your phone or something.
It's coming from down there.
I'm going to fucking doctor.
You notice how it's gone now that the boat's over there?
Yeah, I do. I'm like, but I swear to you, it sounds in front of me. I might have a stroke right now. I don't know. Maybe I'm reflecting off the mirrors there or some shit. I don't know. There's these questions like, what if GTA 6 sucks? Like, wait, no.
What if GTA 6 sucks, Matt?
Yes.
McDonald's?
Yeah, we'll just get a job at McDonald's. It's not going to happen.